Welcome to another episode where we dive into the fascinating world of history. Today, we're embarking on a journey through time, exploring the lives and adventures of remarkable explorers who shaped the world we live in. From the Americas to Asia, these individuals dared to venture into the unknown, transforming our understanding of geography and culture in the process. Get ready to learn about some of the most significant voyages in history and the impact they had on our world. Let's begin with one of the most notable figures in exploration, Christopher Columbus. Born in 1451, this Italian navigator is known for his crucial voyages across the Atlantic under the sponsorship of Spain's Catholic monarchs. Columbus was determined to find a western sea route to Asia but instead stumbled upon the Bahamas in October of 1492. This monumental mistake opened the floodgates for European exploration and set in motion the age of colonization in the Americas. Columbus thought he had reached the Indies, but he had actually discovered an entirely new continent. His expeditions not only changed the course of history but also initiated what we now call the Columbian Exchange, exchanging goods, ideas, and populations between the Old and New Worlds. Columbus made his first landing on an island he named San Salvador, showcasing the zeal and miscalculations that often characterized early explorations. Now, let's sail across time to another major figure, Ferdinand Magellan. Born around 1480, the Portuguese explorer set out on a monumental quest to find a new route to the East Indies. In 1519, he led a Spanish expedition that resulted in the first circumnavigation of the Earth. As he journeyed across the vast oceans, he discovered the Strait of Magellan at the southern tip of South America, a crucial passage connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Although Magellan did not survive to complete his expedition, his fleet continued under the command of Juan Sebastián Elcano, ultimately returning to Spain in 1522. They found calmer waters in what Magellan named the Pacific Ocean, due to the tranquil seas he encountered during that journey. Switching continents and eras, we turn to Captain James Cook, who was born in 1728 and became one of the most significant figures in British exploration. Cook embarked on 3 groundbreaking voyages to the Pacific, during which he made pioneering discoveries. He was the first European to meticulously map the eastern coastline of Australia and circumnavigate New Zealand. Not only did Cook excel in navigation, but he also contributed to science with his detailed maps that remained in use for centuries. Tragically, his adventures came to an end when he was killed in Hawaii in 1779 during a conflict with native Hawaiians. His ship on the first voyage, the Endeavour, remains a symbol of exploration and adventure. Moving back in time, let's explore the journeys of Marco Polo. Born in 1254, this Venetian merchant and explorer traveled extensively through Asia, beginning in 1271. He spent nearly 17 years in the court of Kublai Khan, the Mongol ruler of China. His accounts, chronicled in the Travels of Marco Polo, introduced Europeans to the wonders of Asia, including coal, paper money, and diverse cultures. Although some historians question the validity of his experiences, there's no doubt that Marco Polo's writings sparked the imaginations of future explorers, including Columbus himself, who carried an annotated copy of Polo's book on his journey. While living in Kublai Khan's court, Marco Polo experienced the Yuan dynasty, a period of significant cultural exchange in China. Now, let's discuss another remarkable traveler, Ibn Battuta, who roamed the earth from 1304 to 1369. This Moroccan Berber traveler is often hailed as one of the greatest explorers in history. Over 3 decades, Ibn Battuta covered approximately 73,000 miles, traversing vast expanses of the Islamic world and beyond, including areas in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. His travels were recorded at the behest of the Marinid ruler of Morocco in a work known as A Gift to Those Who Contemplate the Wonders of Cities and the Marvels of Traveling. Ibn Battuta began his journey in Tangier, which is where he was born, and returned to his homeland after decades of adventure. His extensive voyages provided insights into the cultures and peoples of the medieval world, showcasing the importance of travel and cultural exchange. Next, we have Vasco da Gama, who lived around 1460 to 1524. This Portuguese explorer is celebrated for being the first European to reach India by sea, establishing a direct ocean route between Europe and Asia. Da Gama's journey began with a daring expedition around Africa's treacherous Cape of Good Hope, landing in Calicut on the Malabar coast in 1498. This passage opened new avenues for trade and led to the establishment of a powerful Portuguese presence in Asia. His journey helped to bypass the overland trade routes traditionally controlled by Muslim and Italian powers. This monumental feat ultimately allowed for the beginnings of a colonial empire. Da Gama later served as Viceroy of India, further solidifying his historical legacy. Now, let's sail to the polar regions and explore the endeavors of Roald Amundsen. Born in 1872, this Norwegian explorer carved his name into history by being the first to reach the South Pole in 1911, defeating British explorer Robert Falcon Scott's party by just 35 days. Amundsen is also known for being the first person to traverse the Northwest Passage from 1903 to 1906 and for flying over the North Pole in an airship in 1926. His successful expeditions utilized sled dogs, showcasing a mode of transport that excelled in Arctic conditions, in contrast to Scott's use of ponies. Unfortunately, Amundsen disappeared in 1928 during a rescue mission in the Arctic, but his legacy as a pioneer of polar exploration endures. Our next journey takes us to Zheng He, a remarkable Chinese mariner and diplomat from the Ming dynasty who lived between 1371 and 1433. Zheng He commanded 7 epic voyages between 1405 and 1433, navigating through Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. His fleet was impressive, composed of massive treasure ships, some measuring up to 400 feet in length, crewed by thousands of sailors. Zheng He's expeditions were not just about exploration, they were about showcasing Chinese power and influence by collecting tribute from foreign rulers and returning exotic animals like giraffes back to China. However, his voyages came to an abrupt end when the Ming court shifted its focus away from maritime exploration. Interestingly, Zheng He himself was born into a Muslim minority, a fact that highlights the diverse cultural tapestry of the time. Lastly, we'll discuss the Lewis and Clark expedition, a crucial event in American history that took place from 1804 to 1806. Commissioned by President Thomas Jefferson after the United States acquired the Louisiana Territory, this expedition marked America's first overland journey to the Pacific coast. Led by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, the Corps of Discovery trekked approximately 8,000 miles from St. Louis to the Pacific Ocean near modern-day Astoria, Oregon. Along the way, they mapped new territories, fostered relationships with Native American tribes, and recorded scientific data about the region's flora and fauna. A notable figure in this expedition was Sacagawea, a Shoshone woman who served as an invaluable interpreter and guide. Her contributions were significant not only in navigating the terrain but also in bridging cultural divides. The success of the Lewis and Clark expedition opened up the western United States for further exploration and settlement and remains a cornerstone of American history. Finally, we arrive at the iconic moment in space exploration involving Neil Armstrong, who made history in 1969 as the first person to walk on the moon. As the commander of Apollo 11, Armstrong and his colleague Buzz Aldrin landed the lunar module Eagle on the moon's surface, accomplishing a monumental goal set by President Kennedy a decade earlier. When Armstrong stepped onto the lunar surface, he declared, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." His accomplishment not only fulfilled a technological ambition but also profoundly impacted humanity's exploration of space. The command module of Apollo 11, which remained in lunar orbit while Armstrong and Aldrin descended to the surface, was named Columbia, a testament to the exploration spirit that drives humanity to push beyond our limits and seek the unknown. Today, we explored the incredible tales of iconic explorers from various eras and regions. We learned about Christopher Columbus's misadventures in the Americas, Ferdinand Magellan's quest for circumnavigation, and Captain James Cook's navigational feats. We celebrated Marco Polo's introductions of Asian wonders to Europe and Ibn Battuta's extensive travels across the Islamic world. We also uncovered Vasco da Gama's pioneering sea route to India, Roald Amundsen's icy expeditions, and Zheng He's impressive maritime quests. We wrapped up our journey with the monumental achievements of Lewis and Clark, and Neil Armstrong's historic moon landing. Each explorer contributed to our rich tapestry of world history. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling exploration of history. From the high seas to the cosmos, explorers have paved the way for our understanding of the world and beyond. We hope you feel inspired to learn more about these remarkable individuals and their adventures. Until next time, keep exploring and engaging with the fascinating stories of our past.